Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynn and I'm going to give you a little a little warning. First, I talk a lot and that's okay because that's who I am. If that's not your cup of tea, I understand. I have long nails. That's not your cup of tea, I understand. I'm not for everybody, but everybody's not for me either. So the world is too small and life passes too fast to get caught up on what things you don't like about people that you don't have to interact with. So today I want to bring you kind of an update. It's been about a month, maybe 3 to 4 weeks since we did an update here in my greenhouse. Things have obviously been growing. So I kind of wanted, if y'all are interested in that, please stay tuned. If not, I totally understand. Maybe the next video will be content that you really want to see. This is for documentation as far as what happens on a well, not a weekly basis, because I do have other homesteading content. It's not all about just my greenhouse, but this is where it starts. I grow my food in here, so this is essentially the first step. But I will have my canning videos up as soon as I start harvesting and can get things. Now, I will have other canning videos, but as far as for the stuff that comes out of this greenhouse, we got to wait a little bit. I'm already getting flowers and whatnot on my beans and my peas, so it won't be as long as you think. Otherwise, let's see. I know I don't have any pictures of the tomato plants that I gave my father-in-law. I did plant some myself, which I will show, and I'll tell you that these are the same ones that I planted for my father-in-law at the same time, because I planted some for me and for him. Just a few for me, because I'm not, for somebody who says I'm not that into tomatoes, and I've said this in previous videos, I think I have 17 tomato plants. That's a lot for somebody who really doesn't do tomatoes that much, huh? Well, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. But I do can tomatoes, and I do use tomatoes in different things. I just can't eat an abundance of them, or I can't eat sauces made from tomatoes. It's too acidic, and my ulcers just, they go crazy and fuss at me. So I'm going to try to show you things in my greenhouse, but I'm going to do it on a relatively slow rotational, because I've noticed, and it's not any of the content creators' fault, but there's some times to where either they're in a store or they're walking in the woods and their camera's moving around a lot. I tend to get sick to where I'm actually vomiting, and I found that out about YouTube creators on accident. I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers, and she was walking around the store, and I couldn't figure out why I felt so nauseated. And it turns out it's very similar to something I found out years ago when my sons were at home and they were playing their first-person games. Back then it was Aladdin and Sonic the Hedgehog. Those things made me so ill, and I didn't understand it, because I had never played first-person games myself, because we didn't have those. And except for Deer Hunter. I played Deer Hunter on my computer, and I noticed that if I rotated too fast, I would get sick. But I just stopped rotating too fast. If I heard footsteps behind me, I would just slowly turn my camera angle in the game. But anyway, enough talking. I'll try to keep that in mind, so that if you tend to get that kind of motion sickness or that kind of illness or queasiness. I'll try to keep that in mind. And if I don't, if I'm too fast, by all means, leave me a comment below and say no. But otherwise, I'll get you started. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just go slow, and I'm not going to really walk with you as much as pan down. Like this whole long bed, I will just slowly pan down it. So this right here is my Brussels sprouts, and I'm gonna see if I can't move in to show you my beautiful little Brussels sprouts in there. Look at them. They're getting there. And what's funny is I'm growing them and I don't even know if I like Brussels sprouts. Now, these big puppies are my garlic. Now, they are, well, granted, they are in a raised bed, but from the surface of the thing to this right here, that's probably about 3.5 feet, almost 4 feet. And this thing is that far, about 3 inches from reaching the top if they didn't bend over. So I'm excited to see what they can bring. Now that right there is my onions. Now I am having a little bit of a lizard problem. I planted that marigold as a pest attractant, but if you can see, they ate it. They ate my marigold. So all of that is onion, and then down at the end is more Brussels sprouts. And I wish I could pause this thing without having to splice another video, but hang tight, I'll go show you those. See, I told you that I wouldn't walk with you so that you wouldn't have all that motion. But look, I don't know if you can see all these little beauties in there. Now, I can put my hand down here as a reference to how big they are. So they're about, the ones on the bottom that are the biggest, because I mean they get smaller as they go up. So the bottom ones are about half the size I think that they're supposed to be when I go to harvest them. Now I have a second one right here. Let's see if I can kind of get into a few of those. These leaves are humongous. See, those are in there too. Beautiful. And then you have the little bitty ones. See, little babies up top. All right, now I'm gonna move you very slowly. All right, those are my marigolds. I need to do something with them. These are my other marigolds. I need to do something with them because they're about tired of getting in that pot. And there's one of the windows. They're all open, of course, right now. Okay, this bed right here. This is the one in the center of my greenhouse. I'm gonna try to bring you in real slow. All right, these in the center, that's all my cucumber plants. Now, I think I only did 5 or 6 this year because I was canning pickles like a mad woman last year. I'm trying to see, oh, yep, I already got first growth on my pickles starting. Now let me give you my finger to kind of give you, that's my thumbnail. So, not huge yet, but I seen it this morning when I was watering, so I wanted to show y'all. And this right here, all the way up to the tippy top, and trying to grow into the top of my thing, is my green beans. Now, the last video you see where I had planted them and they had sprouted up and went, they were pretty high. This is my other side of green beans. And going up to the tippy top. And they're same way. They're trying. I'm gonna see if you can see that one. And see, they're just wrapping around the top board of that 2x4. But I just, I really wanted to show y'all just how much growth these guys have gotten in such a short amount of time. But they definitely love being in a greenhouse. Okay. Now, if you've been here before, you saw this was fully covered with all of the tomatoes that I planted for my father-in-law, which they're gone. These, my father-in-law said he wanted some late season tomatoes, so I planted him more, of course. You know, I do that. Those down there, I tried getting rid of those cucumbers, trying to find a home for them, but tomatoes went a lot faster than cucumbers did. And I have watermelon and cantaloupe down there that are starting to go yellow. So I'm definitely going to have to get those in the ground soon. My husband and I are differing on opinions on how we want to do it, because it's been like 2 or 3 years since we did our cucumbers. We did a bed outside, and we did cucumbers, watermelon, and cantaloupe before I'm giving y'all a view of this front row right here. Those are peas, green peas, sweet peas. And then on the other side of that center is, well, actually, the other 2 rows are string beans, green beans. And see, they're the same way up here. And see, I don't know if you can see them. I wonder if I can zoom in. I mean, we've already got flowers. So, like I said, it won't be long. It won't be long at all before we get some action going on these. But anyway, so when my husband and I did it a few years ago on our watermelon and cantaloupe, I'm gonna try to very slowly move you. It was just crazy. The weed pressure was outrageous. So we're trying to figure out how we want to do it this time. All right. So these guys right here, these 4, these are all beefsteak tomatoes that Volunteer planted themselves from last year's, or I say last year's plants. I didn't pull them out till January, but because I mean they were still producing up until I pulled them out. But see, I don't know if you can see them. I've already got flowers on my tomatoes. And the bumblebees, they have full access through the windows. Now the windows, they have, I have predator netting over my entire greenhouse to stop the wind from ripping my plastic off. So the bees and whatnot, and wasp and apparently every other flying critter can get through the predator netting. So everything's gonna get pollinated and so, okay, back to my plants. Sorry. Now, this one, and this one, those 3 right there, those are my bodacious hybrids that I wanted me and my father-in-law to try. I don't know what kind I don't know, you know, how good they are yet, but we're going to try them. So that's those 3. There's my marigold in the back. It's going to become huge, so I'm not really sure why I put it in the back, other than the fact that the last summer when I planted the marigolds, they were flopping over into they took up half of my 3-foot walkway. Now, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are all the better boys. Now, I'm going to kind of take you in just a little bit. Now, that thing's almost 2.5. That's about 2.5, almost 3 feet. No, that's about 2.5 feet tall. And I just planted those last, I want to say last Tuesday maybe, because I think he came and picked up his on Monday, and oops, sorry, my hand was in the way there. But I planted mine after I took his. I mean, he took his because I let him pick which ones he wanted. And there's my other marigold. And these three little guys here, try to move past my thing. The two on the right are, actually all three of them are volunteer planted. They planted themselves. But these three, I think, came from the smaller group of tomatoes that wanted to, tended to be the smaller ones. My daughter-in-law back at the spring of last year gave me some cherry Romas, some kind of hybrid that turned out to be like 1.5 to 2 inches. So those, but I didn't want to let them die. So I planted them down here at the end. I hope you've enjoyed the little update on the greenhouse. I have thoroughly enjoyed showing you because I am so proud of this. Just to be growing something and doing something that makes me happy, but yet actually doing something for my family just makes me feel really good. So I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me. And I'm trying to cover up my ear that I saw poking out earlier. But you know, hey, I've told y'all, I have big ears. You're gonna see them come summertime when I have to put this big old long mess in a ponytail. But anyway, if you've liked it, give me a thumbs up, please. Click subscribe if you want to come back and see more. Look back at my other videos if you want to see, you know, some different content. Like I said, it won't all be greenhouses. I will have other stuff coming. I kind of got off on a tangent earlier, but I do different things. I have some more pantry staple videos coming up because there's a lot of things that I need to get moving on. And there's some that I want to try that I haven't tried before. So that's always exciting. But I hope, oh, and I want to do some sourdough recipes. Like I saw sourdough Pop-Tarts, and who doesn't, oh sorry, who doesn't like Pop-Tarts? Or another content creator, she did some like the Quaker granola, chewy granola bars. I'm going to try those. I'm not going to film that because I'm not taking, you know, her idea, but I definitely want to try that for myself. So things that I see like that, and I try, I won't film those because I'm not about, you know, hijacking people's content. But things that I want to do that I come up with, I will definitely show you. So, I was looking at some recipes the other day, and I seen a sourdough Pop-Tart recipe that I really want to try, and that's mainly for my grandson because he loves the pancakes that I've done, the frozen, you know, how I make the homemade pancakes and I freeze them, and that way he has them ready when he wants them. I'm saying a lot, sorry. I planned on doing this filming earlier, but that same little darling grandson decided he wanted to come up and hang with us. So doing the video got pushed back, but that's okay. He's totally worth it, and I don't mind y'all seeing me fumble around a little bit because, you know, that's just life sometimes. But I'm going to bid you a farewell, and I hope you have a great evening or a great day, because it's evening for me now, but I'll be uploading this in the morning after it gets edited. But I hope you have a great one. Thank you for coming. Bye.